Well, hello. So today I am here once again rambling on about one of my favorite candles of all time. I love this candle so much. So this is Forbidden Forest. It is from Village Candles Fantasy Collection. If you don't know about that, which maybe you already do because I feel like they were released like a year ago or something, and there were 5 original scents in the collection, and now there's actually 2 more. So I have the original 5, and I'd like to get the other 2, but this collection was just like a dream come true for me. It was probably like my favorite candle collection that's like ever come out because it was all like, it was their fantasy collection, so it was all like fantasy based. And there's one called Mermaid Tales, there's a unicorn candle, and now the new ones, there's one called Wizard's Owl and one called Mighty Dragon. And the ones that I got, I loved actually the whole collection, and I was so impressed with like the whole collection. It's just, they're beautiful, and I thought the scents were just great. So I do have the original 5, including this one, so I'm so excited to talk about all of them. But I have to say, based on scent alone, this is definitely my favorite. I love this scent so much. It is so good. Okay, so first things first, this is a 28 ounce large dark candle, 2 wicks, $19.95 is the regular price. I love Village Candle. I talk about them all the time. They're like one of my favorite brands. I think the quality is really good. So I love Village. Definitely check them out. They're now under Stonewall Kitchen. So check out Village Candle and check out this fantasy collection, because if you haven't seen it, they did a whole bunch of like pictures, and they had some stuff on Instagram, and it was just so magical and cool. But let's just get into this one, because this one, scent wise, it's amazing. I love this one so much. So first of all, look at it. Okay, it's so pretty, and I wish that it like picked up on camera, but I feel like it definitely doesn't. But the labels on all of this fantasy collection, they're like holographic. It's so pretty, and I can totally see it, but I feel like it definitely like doesn't pick up. But in person, they have these like really beautiful holographic labels, and the label on this one is just this kind of like green, pretty, like magical forest. I think it's super pretty. The wax is a beautiful, like bright, foresty green. It's so pretty. Yeah, so I love the way it looks, but the smell, I love this candle. So what does it smell like? Okay, so what I smell in this candle is really smoky trees. That's what I get right off the bat. It's beautiful. It's like this beautiful like pine. So like right off the bat, you do get some like pine. It's not balsam, but pine. So you do get some like, some people's minds might go to like holiday with this, like Christmas, but it's really not, but it definitely could be. And here's why I say that, because it does have pine, and it's pine is obviously, we all know, a Christmas tree smell, like balsam and cedar and everything else. Pine is a little different, but we know pine smells like Christmas trees, right? So you do get that. And if you remember, I think it was last year, Village Candle released a candle for Christmas called Fireside Fir, and I never got the candle, but I did look at it on their website, and I looked at the notes, and they were the exact same notes as this, and it was the exact same wax color. So if you liked Fireside Fir, I'm pretty sure this is Fireside Fir, so it obviously could be a holiday candle, but it's definitely so much more than that. And if you did want to burn this as a holiday candle, it would be like kind of a weird, like a different kind of holiday candle, because this does smell like trees, and it's beautiful. Like the trees in this are so gorgeous, and smokiness, and that is what gets it for me, because I love smoky candles, and I actually love pine and cedar, and I love anything like foresty, like tree stuff. I love that, but it mixes so well. Like you can smell the smoke in this. So that's what I smell, just smelling it. So the notes listed say pine, herbaceous, cedarwood, patchouli, and smoke. So I do smell all of those things. Definitely the pine and definitely the smoke. That is what stands out. Herbaceous, yeah, it's an herbaceous scent for sure. Cedarwood, yeah, some cedarwood in there. It's mostly pine though, but it just in general it smells like just like trees. That's what it smells like. It almost kind of smells like when you smell like pine and tree notes like in perfume, in fragrance like that. It's beautiful. Like not that this is a perfumey candle by any means, but I just mean that like the tree notes are just so gorgeous in this. I'm just like obsessed. It smells so fresh and so like it's beautiful. And smoke, I definitely smell the smoke, and that's what I love about it. It does list patchouli in here. This is, again, like I said about Haunted Mansion, this is not a patchouli heavy candle. I can smell it a little bit, but this, if you hate patchouli, this isn't like super patchouli. There is some in there and I can kind of smell it. Like when you point it out, I'm like, okay, yeah, because there is like that earthiness, but it's mild, the patchouli. It's not like I don't take the lid off and like smell patchouli or anything like that. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And so not only that, but like, I mean, look at it. Like, it's so pretty. And so I burn this. This is one of my favorite candles, and I actually have a backup of this too. I burn this like anytime, and I honestly obtained this candle and like started burning it in the spring, and I thought it worked so well for spring, like at night, because it was like, it's fresh. Like the tree, the pine is like fresh, but then you get this like smokiness. And for that reason, I honestly feel like this could totally be a Halloween candle, which is why I'm talking about it now. It's so interesting, and it's kind of spooky because it has that like, that kind of like ominous like smokiness, and it's not like super polarizing or anything. But there's definitely like a little something in here, or like not even just a little something. There's something in here that is just like kind of weird and kind of spooky. You know what? This actually reminds me of Maleficent and like Sleeping Beauty. That's what I'm smelling. You're in like a magical kind of forest, and there's something like questionable going on, you know, with the smoke. And it's so, I'm just obsessed with this. It smells so good, and it's so different. It's like, I love pine candles and I love like things that smell like Christmas trees, but this, I mean, this is so cool. Like I love tree candles and I love smoky candles, and this is both of them, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautifully done, and it's so well blended. And I think this is a spooky candle. This could be a fresh candle. This could be a holiday candle. I just think it's a great candle overall. I love it. So how did it burn? It burned very well. I had no issues. Village candle does not soot like ever. There's the 2 wicks. I've said before that like sometimes I will, like with Village, and I do this with a lot of candles, I don't trim them necessarily the first time I burn them, and then I just kind of see how it goes, because these wicks, I've never had a wick like drown or anything with Village, but sometimes sometimes, like this isn't like every candle, but sometimes they're just not as like fiery. Like the flames aren't as big, which isn't like necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes you have like a Bath and Body Works candle, or even like, you know which ones are crazy? This is so unrelated, but like the Yankee, like the soy ones and the tumblers, the flame is like this, like you blink and it's like poosh, like I'm like smoking the house down, like with the candle. It's crazy. Anyway, in conclusion, I really like Village, and I think they burn really well. I've never had like an actual like problem. Like I've never had the wick drown or anything. It's never like an issue, and most of them just burn beautifully. Yeah, no soot. Throw on this was actually really good. Probably out of 10, like a 7. It's good. It's not, to me, it's not overpowering at all. To me, the tree kind of stuff like just makes it fresh. But it's like spooky, and I love it. It's beautiful. I have only good things to say about this candle. I really love it, and I loved the whole fantasy collection just like for what it was, and I was gonna like it anyway just because of like the idea of it. But this one just like blew me away, and I think it's so cool because I feel like, you know, they advertise this as like Forbidden Forest, and it's so different and spooky, and like I think they easily could have just made it like a typical like walk through the forest scent, because we all know that there are plenty of, you know, scents like that, and Village has some of them anyway, but it is different. It's got that like smokiness, that little bit of patchouli. It's it's really great, and I think a lot of people who are into like the Halloween stuff would love this. Check it out. I love it. Forbidden Forest, 10 out of 10 for me. Thanks so much for watching.